so strongly with destiny through the depths of your essence, but it's in your head. And it's like people outside of your head try and tell you how you gotta be and deter you from showing up authentically. You catch yourself starting to believe the shit, like blah blah blah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Aniyah's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. On today, we're going to be looking into messages from your guides, alright? Quick announcements. The timestamps are always in the description box below. So is the intro song, because I know some of you are interested in those two things. Always in the description box. You also can only book with me with the link in the description box at my website, AniyahJelisa.com. I will never reach out to you to book a reading or anything like that. I do want to say, though, that we have hit 330 subscribers. So shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here with me. I am going to host a contest once I hit 500 subscribers to give someone a free reading, okay? I'm going to be a full reading, a full 1 hour reading. So yeah, you can go to my website and see how much that costs. Definitely a contest worth entering, okay? So yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you want to join the team. Give the video a thumbs up once you watch your reading if it resonates. And other than that, I'll go ahead and let you all choose your picture. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Welcome to Aniyah's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Excuse the audio today. Just rock with me, alright? Thank y'all. Like I was saying in the beginning, if you skip straight here, I will never reach out to you for a reading. You can only book with me with the link in my bio. The timestamps you obviously have found are in the description, so is the intro song. And I will be hosting a contest for a free 1 hour reading once I hit 500 subscribers, and we're almost there, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, go ahead and like the video if it resonates at the end. Subscribe to the channel, join the team. And also you can leave me a comment down below letting me know any topics that you would like for me to do in the future. So let's get into it. Spirit, what are the messages of guidance and wisdom for Pile 1? Let's see. First up, we have the 9 of Wands reversed. Okay. We have the 9 of Wands reversed. We have the 5 of Wands. Okay. What else? We have the Queen of Cups reversed. Ooh. We have the 7 of Cups reversed. Oh my gosh. And let's see, one more card, please. Spirit, one more card. And lastly, we have Judgment in reverse. So give me a second to sit with this. What's on the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck is the 5 of Swords reversed. You guys might... I just recorded a video for TikTok. You can go to my page and see when I have the same shirt on. Because by the time I post this, it'll be like... I'm going to post this tomorrow. Yeah? Tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyways, you might resonate with that reading. Because these are like some of the same cards. It's actually kind of crazy. But... there's this energy here of like... how do I say? It's like... I'm getting this feeling, that this overwhelming feeling that you are like tired of defending yourself. Tired of defending yourself. Maybe tired of not being chosen. You know, you have the vibe of somebody who everybody knows is a good person. Everybody knows is attractive. Everybody knows is, bound to be successful or whatever. But people just like refuse to... it's almost like people refuse to give you your flowers, or maybe they did at a certain point in time, or maybe this is just like a thing that you experience in your life. And it's like, I just feel like you're tired and you're exhausted of like feeling like you have to compete to be seen, or feeling like there's nobody around you who understands you. And it's like, sometimes I feel like you go back and forth between wanting to just let it go and just not worry about it, and then wanting to like defend and assert yourself and try to like, make people see you. All around though, the message from your guides with the Judgment in reverse is that this is not you experiencing this, and this is not to say that this is your fault, because that's not the vibes, but what it's saying is focusing on this is not a part of your highest calling. And I think the reason why this may be coming through is because it's something that you probably focus on or feel a lot. Like you feel misunderstood, or you feel like people don't get you, or you feel like people are going out of their way to not support you, or you feel like people don't give you the credit and the recognition that you deserve, right? And I relate to that so fucking hard. People, I literally have had somebody play in my face about an idea that I had, act like it was such a wild idea, just for them to turn around and then submit that same idea to a company, and now the company profits off of the idea, and nobody ever came back and apologized to me, ever put my name on it, gave me $1 for it, nothing, right? So I get this. Like, I'm not here to discredit your feelings or invalidate your feelings. However, this is messages from your guides, right? This is messages from a higher perspective to help you along your journey of life. You have to let it go. I know. I know. You have to let it go though. Because whatever is meant for you will come, not, I don't want to say easily in the sense that like you just won't have to do anything for it, you won't have to put any work in, but it's going to come without resistance. And a great example of that is me doing tarot, right? The idea that I gave and that was taken, and I was never given any credit, was a company that I work for. I had an idea. There was a contest going on at the company about trying to sell a certain product. I came up with an idea to sell the product. It worked. The product was selling, but it was outside of bounds at the time. It was not something that was traditionally something that we were supposed to do. And so, management acted like it was a bad idea. They told people not to do it just for somebody clearly to report it to corporate. Corporate loved it so much that now they put that item, the item that I came up with, essentially, they put it there, put it on the website, put it out as if they came up with that, you know? And that's resistance to me because I came up with that idea, and I was played in my face about the idea. They acted like it was a crazy idea, even though the customers were loving it, just to turn around and then steal the idea, profit off of it, and never give me back, right? That's like clearly resistance. Whereas when it comes to tarot, this is literally, it comes so easily to me. And I still do work. I still get up. I put myself together to record these videos. It's work what I'm doing. It's a skill that I developed over years of doing this hundreds of times and developing a skill of a mastery level of a skill. I still have to edit the video, post the video. There's work that goes into it. But this is something that is, there's no resistance here for me in the sense that there's nothing stopping me from doing this. There's nobody above my head that can take this from me or that can take my tarot idea and run off with. Like, that's not a possible thing in this scope, right? Even if somebody decides that they see me doing readings and they want to go make their own readings and they steal all my topics, somebody could say what I say verbatim, word for word on their video, and it's still, because this is for me, it still is not going to hinder my page. It's not going to hinder what I have going on. It's not going to hinder my growth. So that's what I mean in the sense that the things that you're focusing on, the people who are not choosing you, the people who are playing in your face, okay, the companies that might be playing in your face, I'm even seeing that some of you, this could be like you really, really are on a job hunt and you feel like all of the hiring managers, all of the recruiters are just like playing in your face or not giving you your worth. They don't want to pay you enough. Or this could be in dating, that you feel like the people that you're dating, they're not meeting your standards, and it's confusing you because it's like, well, I have the standards, so I'm not, I still dismiss these people once I realize that they're not going to meet my standards. I'm not folding on the standards, but like, why does it feel as if, again, I'm just being overlooked, I'm being discounted, I'm being invalidated? And again, it's not your fault. However, part of the reason why it continues to happen is because you continue to focus on it and give it so much of your energy. I think that part of this has to do with your past as well. And there may have been times in your life where you like literally were at the beck and call of others, or you were in a position where your safety and stability depended on being chosen by people. But now you've evolved past that, and now you're in a phase where your stability now you're at a point where your stability relies, that was my foot. Your stability relies on you choosing yourself. And that's the thing. That's what I mean by like, your feelings aren't wrong. It's just that like, they're human feelings, and the message of guidance and like how to move forward from here is to focus on your calling, to focus on what is choosing you, who does see your value. That is who you need to focus on, okay? With this judgment in reverse, there could be, when it comes to dating, maybe you need to take a break from dating and just focus on yourself, right? Maybe there's aspects of yourself that you have been neglecting, or that you are not really giving enough praise and credit to on your own. Maybe you're not praising yourself enough. Maybe you're not giving yourself enough credit, and so that's being reflected in the outside. When's the last time that you threw yourself a celebration party? When's the last time that you took yourself out to dinner to celebrate your accomplishments while you may be looking for somebody else to congratulate you? When's the last time you congratulated yourself? Okay? You may be looking for somebody to spoil you or to treat you a certain way. When's the last time you did that for yourself? You might want somebody to buy you something expensive. When's the last time you bought something expensive for yourself? You want somebody to cook for you. When's the last time you cooked for yourself? You want somebody to take you on a date. When's the last time you took yourself on a date? And this is not about trying to do the whole, like, you know, I am what I attract, because that's not true, honey. That is not true, okay? All type of stuff can be attracted to light. That doesn't mean that the light is darkness now, or like the light is a parasite now because the mosquitoes was attracted to. That's not, I don't believe in that. However, I do believe that we choose what we are. We choose what we think we are. We choose what we think aligns with us the most. And so the way our choices and our daily habits are set up, this is why you could be finding yourself still surrounding yourself with people who you feel like don't see you, because you have not chosen that you don't have to do that. You haven't chosen the other option, which is to be alone until you meet these people, or until somebody comes into your life and they do treat you how you want to be treated. Or maybe some of y'all are so busy looking for a job and it's like, you are the job. You are the job. That's why you're not getting hired, because your guys are trying to tell you that you are the job. That job is not aligned for you. That's why you're not getting hired for it. I see this a lot. I had to realize this when it came to my one of my jobs. Was I have multiple jobs, but one of them is I wait tables at night. And for years, like I've been doing this for years, right? And for years, I would have coworkers who make so much money in restaurants. Like it would be like if I was averaging $200 a shift, they might be making $400 or $500. And I would always be like, I think I'm a good server. Like I have great customer service skills, and like, why do I never make that much money? It'll be times where I will have hella guests too, and I'll think like, yeah, I'm gonna make so much money today, and then I still come out with that same like average number that I'm used to. And I might see somebody else and I'm like, this person, and no shade, because we all think things about about people sometimes. No shade, you be like, I'm smarter than that person, or I'm nicer to the customers I'm nicer to the customers than that person, or that person always forgets to ring people's food and they end up waiting an hour for their food. My table doesn't ever do that. So how are they making all this much money? And sometimes it's just that's meant for them and it's not meant for you. And that's what that's the conclusion that I came to after years of restaurant hopping, after asking people for tips, after comparing myself to other servers. And when I realized this, it was so funny to me. I genuinely think that the reason why I am never like the highest earning server at any job I've ever worked at, no matter how good I was because I'm not meant to reach my abundance through waiting tables, bro. Waiting tables is something that I started doing out of survival mode, and eventually it turned into a skill. And now, the money's good, but, I'm not dependent on it like how I used to be. That's my side thing, right? I just like doing it because it's fun and money's good. Why not, And I'm not opposed to hard work, so why not? My life can be kind of boring sometimes too. I have all this free time, might as well make some money. But I don't look at it like, oh, this is supposed to be my thing. And no, do you know what I make the most money from out of my whole life? My business. I have never once made the amount of money waiting tables as I have from my business, because I'm not meant to be a server forever. Yeah. So it's like, if you are in that where you're like, people just don't respect me or people don't see me, that's because you need to see yourself. You need to choose yourself. People aren't choosing me. Choose yourself. People aren't validating me. Validate yourself. People aren't congratulating me or praising me or recognizing my accomplishments. Congratulate yourself. I'm pretty sure people would tell you congratulations if you threw yourself a celebratory party. If you made a post and said, oh my God, I did this, I'm so proud of myself. Then that's when you're going to start seeing that. Not because people didn't care, but sometimes it's just that people don't know. Everybody's so consumed with their own life. When's the last time you told somebody congratulations about something that you probably don't know about that they accomplished? Like, we're not paying that much attention to each other. And so I think your guys just want you to pay more attention to yourself instead of looking for external validation, because honestly, it just creates conflict, because at the end of the day, we can never control anybody else. And again, there may have been a point in time in your life where you were dependent on other people's approval, other people needing to validate you in order for you to have access to something. But if you're resonating with this, you're no longer in that space. You have everything that you need in order to validate yourself and to do what you want to do. And if you can't find somebody at the moment who's going to match that, because I get it, we want companionship, we want friends, we want the job, something that seems stable. But if at the time it seems like that's not there, it's not there for a reason. It's because you're needing to focus on yourself. Period. Period. Point blank. Okay, and what the fuck? I can't make this up. On the bottom of this, the Five of Swords that was on the bottom of the deck. Boom. Okay, let me actually cover her up. My bad. The World. Okay. Again, this is about you going through a personal transformation. Personal transformation. This could be something where you might be the type who's into like hypergamy, or you're looking for a SD or somebody who's gonna spoil you. Baby, your guys are calling you to spoil yourself. Yeah. Okay, it's giving go within. That's what this is giving. This is giving go within. Recognize your own value, recognize your own power, your own worth, and just focus on that. And this is not to say like that, oh, you're not going to get hired for a job, or that you're not going to meet a person, or that you're not going to meet friends, or you're not going to get praise. Those things are there. Those things are coming. And you're not wrong to want those things. But it's just like, again, if you keep noticing that you keep running into like what you don't want, that means it's time to go back into your cave and recalibrate and then come back outside if you're not attracting what you want. Okay, there's something about your energy that is radiating, and you need to either come back home to self to improve that, or at the very least gain some more discernment so that when you go outside and the moths and the mosquitoes do come towards you, you already know how to block them off. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 1. Leave me a comment blocked. Yeah, comment blocked down below if you are from Pile 1 and you made it to the end. Also, let me know what kind of topics you guys would like to see from me. Other than that, I love you and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey Pile 2, welcome to Naya's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Quick disclaimer, I'll never reach out to you for a reading. Also, I will be doing a contest to give away a free 1-hour reading once I hit 500 subscribers. So go ahead and share the video, like, comment, all of the above to help us reach that goal, and look out for when I will announce how the contest is going to work and all that. Also, the intro song is always in the description box if you're ever curious about it. And yeah, let's get into your reading. Spirit, what are the messages of guidance and wisdom for Pile 2? First, we have out the Empress. Let's see. We have Justice reversed. So definitely Libra energy, Venus, Taurus. Okay. Showing up. We have Death, Scorpio. Okay. Major Arcana. Let's see. The Knight of Swords. Excuse me. And the Page of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles and then the Nine of Pentacles reversed on the bottom of the deck. So off rip, for you all, I'm seeing that messages from your guides is that life isn't fair. With this Justice in reverse, being surrounded by the Empress, Death, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, life is not fair. And it's not okay, but it's okay for you. It's okay for you to not feel the need to change that. Pile 2, I feel like you guys come across very empathetic. You could be the kind of person who wants to have an equal and secure world and everybody live peaches and cupcakes and rainbows, and like that's what you really wish that the world could be. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, you do have a beautiful, soft heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in your case, I feel like your guides are advising you against this because you end up holding because you want the world to be free, because you want the world to be fair, you often end up allowing yourself to have less because you feel like that is more equal to what other people have. And it's like this kind of distorted way of thinking that this makes you a good person. It's kind of like the person, I just saw 222 on the timer, so I don't know if that's significant for somebody, but it's making me think about somebody who is already broke, like they already don't have much financially, but they like still donate a lot. And again, am I saying there's something wrong with donating? No, but if you're donating to the extent that, again, you're struggling because you never even get to reach your Nine of Pentacles, and then after that we also have the Fool. We literally after that have the Three of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I can't make this up. And Strength, Leo. Hello? Like this whole spread right here. It's like you're not giving yourself access to, this is really everything that you want. This is everything that you could have, but it's like it's blocked by this lack. It's like you feel you're the kind of person who feels guilty for like having a lot. And the issue with that is that you're not the reason that somebody else doesn't have something, especially if you're not like a Fortune 500 billionaire CEO that knows for a fact that you're underpaying your employees while you just profit all this like huge margin by yourself, and you don't share, you don't donate. Like, that's not you. Okay, you're probably not normal in like a like you're everybody else type of way, but normal in the sense that you're not a mega billionaire rich person, right? You're a normal person. So it's like, you wanting to have a better job and make more money is not unfair. I feel like you could also be somebody who consumes like anti-capitalist information or media, and you know, that's your prerogative to be on that wave or not. But I think one thing that I notice about people who tend to be anti-capitalist, or people who are upset about how like the wealth gap and things like that, is that sometimes they can channel that disdain for unfairness into self-shame. So what I mean by that is, because you might inherently feel like all humans should be able to deserve housing and food and healthcare, which is an amazing thing to think, that's an amazing value to have, but sometimes it can create a slippery slope where people believe that and they feel like that. But since they don't have the power to change the world, they just feel like, well, if I hold myself back, then that can help, or that can change. And there's a difference between trying to be sustainable or trying to donate or give back, and simply not allowing yourself to enjoy your life and not allowing yourself to grow. This is one of those things where like, you might really want to start a business, but you feel guilty about charging people because you feel like, oh, well, the economy is bad, and so, you know, I feel bad about charging for my work. But it's like, the only person who you're actually hurting in that sense is you. Because if you, and I'm not trying to say that you don't care, but think about this, if you really care about helping people, don't you think you need resources to do that? You're not really helping anybody by discounting yourself, discounting your value, discounting your worth, and holding yourself back from the life that you want. You actually would do more help if you were to allow yourself to get into that abundant space, because then that's when you can actually give back. It's like, you think that you're giving back by, let's say that you have, like I said, let's say you have a business or something and you price your product super low, and you're like, this is helping because, you know, now it's affordable. But you're not actually helping, because I can say when I do readings, when people pay like really, really cheap for readings, they end up not really taking the advice that seriously. Just like how if you see a free YouTube video or you see a free TikTok, it could give you like a gem, like a life-changing piece of information, but because it was free, it's just something that you don't really pay attention to, and you just like scroll on. Whereas if you hear the same information in a course that you paid $500 for, all of a sudden you have that extra care to really implement it because you invested in it, right? So that same thing can be applied to any business and to your worth and your value, in the sense that you're not really helping people if you are underselling yourself or undercharging. But also, if you're just trying to give back from a place of giving out of what you actually have, if you're already struggling and if you are in lack because you think that that's the more safest, comfortable, most, you know, fair way to be, then what can you really give back? What can you really give back? You can't pay anybody's tuition. You can't help people pay their bills. You can't help pay for somebody's healthcare if you don't have any money, if you don't have any abundance, if you're holding yourself back. And this is about money. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles reversed. This is about money. This is about finances. This is about you doing things that will allow you to move up in spaces. And it can also be a thing of like, maybe you are making the money, but you're scared to spend it. This could be somebody who's like extremely frugal because you feel like it'll be bragging to like do something nice for yourself. But with the Empress is abundant and doesn't hide her abundance. This is a very lush, lavish, luxurious background around her, even her clothing. She has a huge scepter, a huge crown on her head, a beautiful flowing dress, harvest and abundance all around her, right? She looks warm. Whereas in this card, it's just a wall to a church. This looks like, if you ask me, a wall to a church, cold, they struggling walking, where she's sitting pretty in her throne. Even the 9 of Pentacles, this person is again in a gown type of robe with material abundance and fruitful harvest all around them. warmth, sunniness. Okay? That is for you. And it's like with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords, I feel like you have a lot of ideas, you could even have a lot of pull. Like you could have a lot of people know who you are, and maybe you have like the gift of gab, and like you're the kind of person who can talk really well. Like maybe you have prominent like Gemini or Virgo placements or Mercury placements where you can like really, you know how to really communicate well, and it's like you end up stopping yourself because of what other people have to say, or because of other people projecting onto you, or because you don't want to seem as somebody who's bragging, or because you feel like life isn't fair, and so I shouldn't take this thing that's offered to me because somebody else doesn't have it. This is kind of one of those things where it's like if somebody gives you special treatment, you'll decline it because you're like, oh, I don't want to get this special treatment if the people around me can't also receive it. And that's just, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a lack mindset way to live. Nothing that is for you is going to skip over you, but at the same time, if something is for you, that doesn't mean that thing is like taking from somebody else, or that you need to push it away to try to, like, what's for you is what's for you, and what's for somebody else is what's for them. You declining your own blessing is not going to bless somebody else. That's not how that works. That is not how that works at all. You wouldn't even know that sometimes you getting blessed is how you can bless somebody else. Like I said, if you don't have money and if you're struggling yourself, then how are you supposed to help somebody else? You're so concerned with, and I think that's what I was saying in the beginning. It's like you can be very empathetic, but it's like your guidance is to put yourself first. Simple. Like I feel like it's kind of complex to get there because I wanted to go over like to get from the rooter to the tutor, but your guidance is to be more selfish and to focus on yourself and stop feeling bad for that. You feel guilty for like focusing on yourself or doing something nice for yourself. Like you're the kind of person where like, you'll be really frugal when it comes to yourself, but then when it comes to your friend's birthday or your sister or your cousin or your mom or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, wife, whatever, when it comes to their birthdays, now all of a sudden you can spend all this money. But when you spend that money on yourself, you feel guilty. But how does that make sense when it's your money and you worked for it? It doesn't make sense, right? It's like this thing of like you feel like the world is unfair, so to try to balance it out, you like try to dim your own light or make yourself have less. Oh, I'm not, not everybody gets to pursue their dreams, so I'm gonna be okay not pursuing my dreams. Not everybody gets to go to their dream school, so I'm not gonna apply to my dream school. I'm sorry, are you living for you or are you living for them? Again, you denying yourself of everything that you want in life is not benefiting anybody. And if someone tries to convince you that is beneficial to them, they don't like you. They don't like you at all. They want you to suffer. They don't like you, and they're probably comparing themselves to you, and they feel like they don't measure up, so they try to convince you that you growing is somehow negatively impacting them. It's not. It's literally not. If anything, you have people to inspire, you have people to motivate, and you have people that you can actually get back to once you actually allow yourself to have more. Okay? You might also come from a religious background and feel like, money is due to all evil, or that, am I being greedy? But it's like wanting more is not being greedy. I feel like that's such a patriarchal, societal programming thing. Like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Earth is an abundant planet. The universe is a limitless, never-ending clump of cells and ideas in life force. So who came up with this concept that like you need to be okay with less because somebody else might have less? That's just not how that works, and I don't want that for you, and your guys don't want that for you. You have things that you're supposed to be doing in the world. You have actions that you're supposed to be taking. You have ideas that you're supposed to be acting on. You have people to inspire. You have people to motivate, and you also have something to say. It could even be that where it's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable talking or saying my piece because somebody else can't speak, or because somebody else, when they say the same thing, they don't get views, but I get views. So now I feel like, sad because they don't get what I get. Listen, that's not for you to worry about. The best way for you to, if you feel like you have some type of privilege or advantage in the world, the best way for you to use it is to literally use it and then turn around and help people who don't have it, but not to just put yourself in a box and lock yourself down and don't allow yourself to express these things. Express yourself. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pal. Too, I feel like this one's kind of all over the place, but if you get it, you get it. I hope you get it. Matter of fact, comment that below if you made it to the end. The girls that get it, or if you get it, you get it, period. Other than that, I will never reach out to you for a reading. You can only book with me down below with the link in the description box at AniyahJelisa.com. Other than that, I love you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey Pile 3, welcome to Naya's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Thank you so much for joining me on today. Today we're going to be doing messages from your guides, messages of guidance and wisdom, okay? Check out short form content on TikTok. Also, I will be doing a contest to give away a free 1-hour reading once I reach 500 subscribers. And at the time of me recording this, I think I'm at like 335 or something like that. So yeah, look out for that. Also, go ahead and just like the video at the end. If it resonates, subscribe to the channel, join the team. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Spirit, what are the messages of guidance and wisdom for Pile 3? First out, we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. We have the 4 of Cups reversed. 9 of Swords reversed. One more card, please. Lastly, we have the Tower reversed. All these cards are reversed. That's crazy. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. For you all, I feel like you may have thought at one point in time that if you could just acquire something, and this could be like, take it how it resonates. This could be like if you could just acquire something material, like if you could just buy your first designer item, or if you could just secure this job, or if you could just make money on social media, or if you could just hit this certain amount of followers or likes or engagement, or you know, if you could just get a roster of people that you date, or you could get somebody to give you this much money, or whatever the case may be. It's something like kind of superficial that you thought was going to bring you more happiness than it did. And I feel like what your guys are saying is that you really need to focus on self-love. And then underneath this, we have the Empress, wow, and the High Priestess. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the High Priestess. So what I'm getting here is that, like, what's gonna actually bring you happiness and fulfillment is loving yourself and understanding yourself. You may have gone through something recently, because what I'm saying, okay, these messages, just so you know, have been more like, I'm kind of like piecing a bunch of things together. So the reading, just try to keep up with me, right? With the Tower in reverse, I feel like you have been very focused on acquiring something, and you have been manifesting something, and you thought that, okay, when I get this thing, I'm gonna be happy. So take it how it resonates. This is a general reading. For some of you, it could be that, again, you thought that once you started making a certain amount of money that you would become happy, or when you started dating somebody or got married or had a child, that you'll be satisfied, complete, content. Some of you thought that it was about a certain career. Like, once I get this type of job, not even about not necessarily about the dollar amount that you would make, but once I'm actually able to have a certain role. Like, some of you, it could have been a promotional thing. Like, once I become manager, or maybe you have a dream career and it's like, once I am able to do my dream thing for a living, then I'll be happy. Some of you, it has to do with social media. Like, once I get this many followers, or once I get this much engagement, I'll be happy. And you finally got there. Or maybe you would feel like you would feel worthy, you would feel more confident. But it's like, I feel like you recently have achieved that thing, and you have come to realize that those insecurities are still there. The fear is still there. The imposter syndrome is still there. The lack of self-worth is still there. The longing for love is still there. The need for validation is still there. And so your guides are encouraging you to look within and to look to something deeper than what's on the surface. Because, you know, people say like money doesn't buy happiness. I think that depends on what is a happiness to you. Okay, definitely think that. I think money can absolutely buy a lot of people happiness. But there is, on the flip side, there is a reason why rich people say that. There's a reason why, you know, when you're a content creator and you're growing, even me, I'm about to do a contest, you know, once I get a certain amount of subscribers, but there's a reason why really big creators say that, you know, if you having followers is not going to make you happy, because it's not. Because these are all things that exist outside of us. And where do we live? We live within our heart, our soul, our mind, our body. So what I'm saying when I say that your guys are wanting you to focus on self-love, I'm not just saying that in the sense of like buy yourself something nice or like go get your nails or hair did. What I mean is learn to understand yourself, spend more time with yourself in quiet and solitude so that you can understand, first of all, what it is that you actually like. What is it that actually makes you happy? For me, what makes me happy is being able to go about my day as if I don't have a job. That's one of my favorite things. I love just dilly-dallying. I love being able to go to the library and spend an hour browsing through books and not having to rush to anywhere. I love being able to pay my bills with a positive mindset because it's not the end of the world for me, because I can easily afford them. I like being able to have the luxury of going out to eat if I don't feel like cooking for myself. I can just go drive my car that I'm grateful for and go to a restaurant and just pay somebody else to cook it and for somebody else to bring it to me, right? Those are some things that make me happy. And so when I'm thinking about that and I relate it back to my material goals of like, oh, I want to make this much money, or I want to have this many subscribers, this many followers, it's still to come back to that. It's not because I won't feel good about myself unless 500 people watch me. It's not about 500 people watching me. It's about the aftermath of that, right? Because I already know what makes me happy. And technically, I really don't need 500 subscribers to do that. I already do it now, right? So it's just like, there's a need to become more self-aware about what it is that actually fuels you, for one. Confirmation, but I am gonna come back once that's over with. All right. So not only is it about becoming more self-aware and like learning what actually makes you happy, but it's also about learning where your insecurities come from. Because sometimes you may have a goal. I feel like goals are meant to make us happy. They're meant to aid in our path or our journey to happiness, to joy and fulfillment. And most of the time, we don't need to actually reach the goal in order to feel those things. It's just something that helps us to get there, something that helps to stabilize the feeling of happiness, right? But we should also be looking into, well, why did I think that having these many followers was going to make me happy in the first place? Why did I think that finding a partner was going to make me happy in the first place? Why did I think that buying a designer item was going to make me happy in the first place? Then that's when we can also start peeling back the layers of that onion and start to say, well, do I feel loved? It's easy to say I love myself, but like in reality, like on a deep level, when no one else around, is at night, we're emotional, do I actually feel loved? Am I looking for validation through my social media following or through shopping or through dating to try to fill a gap that I feel within my life or within my heart, within my experiences? You know, is that what's happening? Because the fact that it's one of those things of like, instead of just attacking the symptoms, let's just go straight to the source. If we know that, let's say there's a sickness in our body and we feel these symptoms, our nose is running, you know, our head hurts, we're tired, we don't have any energy, we could just take some medicine that's gonna get rid of the symptoms for a couple days, but we're gonna have to take the medicine again. Or we could say, maybe it's something in my diet. Maybe it's something that I'm consuming that my body doesn't like, and every time I eat this thing, oh, that's when my head hurts, right? Maybe if that thing that you keep consuming that's hurting you is self-doubt, maybe it's those insecurities, maybe it's childhood wounds that you haven't wanted to look up or get into because you feel like you don't need to, but it's still affecting you. And so maybe, you know, you wanting to date somebody or go shopping or spend all this money or make this money or have this but yeah, maybe it was about having a certain lifestyle and you realize that those things didn't actually make you happy because you thought that those things were the antidote, but really they were just medicine. And maybe they made you feel good for a short amount of time or, you know, temporarily, but eventually that problem or the issue came back because it was never actually treated. Okay, so your guys want you to get into the root of the tutor. They want you to get to the root of the problem. They want you to really get into yourself and figure out what the issue actually is. And I am seeing that with the High Priestess here, we also have the Devil on the bottom of the deck and the King of Cups. Your refusal to really get emotional with yourself is that's the issue. You're gonna have to purge, okay? You're gonna have to purge. You're gonna have to really look through your childhood. I don't often recommend this in my readings. If you watch, then you know I'm gonna be honest about that. I really don't. But in this for this pile, I feel like you guys could really benefit from my 10-step guide to self-awareness. It's literally like $10. It's just like a little guidebook that you're supposed to like write through. So it offers perspective, and it also offers a lot of journal prompts and questions to ask yourself. And the way that it's intended to be used is that you actually go through and write down and journal the questions and your answers. By the time you get done with that, I promise you, you will figure out what actually makes you happy and what is actually holding you back. And then you can start doing the work to unpack that. And then that extra stuff that you want will bring you happiness, because you will actually be happy without it. And you won't be needing it or thinking that it's going to actually make you happy, okay? So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I'll never reach out to you for a reading. You can only book with me down below with the link in the description box. I will be hosting a contest once I reach 500 subscribers on this channel, to give away a free 1-hour reading. So go ahead and stay tuned for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the reading, subscribe to the channel. And if you are here at the end, comment self-awareness, okay? Comment self-awareness if you made it all the way to the end of pile 3. And other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.